Hey guys, so welcome to Money Mindset and More. And today's big question is around how somebody can start a white labeling business. Before I go into steps to create that, probably I'll explain what is a white labeling. It is basically selling generic product or services under a specific brand name which you are going to either create or you already have. So in this process, you are not going to create anything which is absolutely unique. You are work with the existing suppliers, manufacturers, or service providers and create a service or product under your brand name, which might be very similar to what market is already offering in those areas. So as simple as that. Now, if you want to create a white labeling business, there are certain steps you can follow, and they are not different than starting any new business, but it's definitely have specific steps which you should follow. First of all, you have to have a detailed market study which you have done. You cannot start anything just because you want to do something. uh, Maybe you have heard of on internet that people are making a lot of money on white labeling. Those things are not true. You have to really work hard on those things. But yes, you can definitely start with identifying a market need which might last very long. So for example, you want to launch a pet brands or a baby product brands, right? You might want to, if it comes to service, you want to launch a company which does cleaning for homes, something like that. All these services are very generic and they are going to last very long. People will be needing all those products and services forever. So if you have something in mind for those kind of product and services, then you start with finding what market needs you can serve better. If you have any specific passion around, let's say pets, you love dogs too much, you can start with that. Or you are too much cleaning freak, you can start with a cleaning company, you will do well. Once you identify those needs in the market, you feel that those are still a gap, you can start working on product or services which you want to offer in those areas. Each and every category has a wide variety of product and services which you can offer. So for example, going back to the dog example, you can have dog foods, accessories, or services like veterinaries or cleaning services, walking services, anything you can think of. So you have to decide which area you want to go. You want to have product base or services base. Once you identify those things, then you have to find suppliers who can provide services or products which you can white label. One pro tip over here is that you should definitely have multi geo suppliers if you are working on any product, or multi locations services if you are going into services business. The reason is very simple. Sooner or later the supply chain will hit you in some areas. If, for example, if it's product you are sourcing it from China, there might be some rift between US and China, and so you need to have a second location, let's say India or Indonesia, where you can source the same product without disrupting your own supply chain. So very important. Once you have your product and services identified and you have negotiated a deal with a supplier who can do the work for you, you need to create a brand. That is probably the most important part for any white labeling business. How well you can position your generic product and services in the market so that people think that it's different or it's better. And the best way in current world is by doing right amount of social media, right amount of user generated content which you call UGC, and obviously designing new packaging and branding for your own uh, brand. Those are the very important things. I will also recommend creating lots of social media pages. Definitely, you should definitely have your own page on each and every social media, irrespective of whether you are going to focus or not, because then you can lock down the brand page. Sooner or later, if you become big, you might need that on different platforms, but you should focus on one, but you should definitely have your presence on each and every platform. Also, you should have your own website. Whether you are going to have a third party selling app or any partner who is selling your products or services, you definitely need audience to come a destination which you personally own. It is like a retail store, or it can be a website or something like that. Definitely build on those things. After you have done all these homework, then only I will recommend to register a company with, let's say, your home state, and create a legal entity. Find out if you need funding, find out the funding partners, and then you start creating the company. Before creating all those things, I will not recommend to just go and register a company and thinking that you have started a business. You have not. You have just registered a company. So take that as a probably fourth or fifth step once you have your branding ready, product ready, and things like that. Another aspect is that what will be your sales strategy? So if it is product based business, you can do drop ship business with companies like Amazon, Walmart. You can do retail store business with Walmart or similar companies, or you can do direct to consumer, which can be very beneficial through TikTok or Instagram and those kind of social channel where you have a lot of audience for your products. Channel which you should use should be dependent upon where your maximum audiences are. If you have your audience on LinkedIn and you are selling your product on TikTok, you will never be successful. So you have to make sure that you know where your audience is, and then you create a lot of content to generate interest in your brand in that particular platform. That will be probably the best sales strategy for initial brands, which I recommend. And then probably last step before you scale your business is launch and test. Nothing can give a better feedback than launching your product or services in the market. If you if you are successful, you know your products are selling. If you're failing, it means that you have to change course, maybe launch new products or change category altogether. All those feedback comes from the market. Never underestimate that any feedback coming from customer is not relevant for you. If you are failing in all those products, it's also a feedback. Don't think that you are failing. You are just learning, okay, this category or this product or this service doesn't work for me. So what I should do next? Those kind of things are the learning from the process. And the last one, I would say, for scaling, you can do partnership with different companies. You can do partnership with the complementary product or services companies and things like that. Three things you have to make sure in this entire process that you have to manage. The first is quality of your product or services. That has to be extremely high because you are playing in generic market field. Only differentiation you have in this field is your branding. Otherwise, those products might be available through other brands and service providers. The second one is customer service. That is where you can differentiate a lot. Many bigger brands even fail to do customer service the way it should be. Some exceptions might be like Amazon, maybe Airbnb or something like that, but customer service is something you can excel. You control those things. You control your quality, you control your customer service. Work on those every single day. And the last one is test new products as much as possible. Never shy of trying new products. Most probably, in my experience, you will fail, probably 90% of your product launches, 10% might be successful. If you have 20% success rate, you will be doing very well. Even then, if you have a 10% success rate, you will be doing fairly well in the market. So test a lot of products, a lot of services with small tweaks, and test what works for you. The best the best experience I have is that you can actually have put a goal for yourself. Let's say if you are in product business, you might feel like, okay, I will launch 100 products in next 1 year, which should sell at least 1000 unit per year. So the moment you start putting those kind of goals, you can actually see better result for yourself, and you can easily decline products which are not qualifying in those criteria. You can start very small. You can say, I want 10 products which might be selling 100 units in a year, something like that. Put that parameter and then start working on those. It will definitely help you to increase what you can do better to scale your white labeling business. Yeah, so let me know if you have any other questions. Happy to discuss. Definitely try white labeling. It's definitely worth give it a shot. You can have a 7-figure business or 6-figure business based upon how much effort you put in. And please like, share, and subscribe. Happy to hear your feedback. Thanks. Take care. Bye bye.